Hello everyone, welcome to quick lesson number 5. In today's quick lesson we're going to have a look at a fairly broad topic here. We're going to call it How You Hear a Line. And this lesson was inspired by one of my students who has been playing for a number of years. His name's Chris, he's an awesome player. And we've been looking at a lot of Stevie Ray Vaughan. And he came to me 2 weeks ago and he said, you know, we're learning the Stevie Ray Vaughan stuff, the licks are down, it sounds great, but I've got to be honest, he says, I'm not getting the emotional reward that I got learning the Stevie Ray Vaughan stuff as much as when we learned the first Stevie Ray Vaughan tune. And I said, okay, that's quite an honest thing, that's a good thing. And he was wondering why that emotional reward from learning Stevie's tunes is waning a little bit. We talked about it, chit-chatted about it for about 5 minutes, and we sort of came to the conclusion, roughly, that it's not his music. So he's trying to get that emotional reward for himself by playing someone else's music. So am I saying learning covers and learning other people's licks is a bad thing? Of course not, no. It's akin to speech, we learn by what's around us, don't we? But at a certain point, it's a perfectly natural response. He thought it was a bad thing. I'm like, no, it's a brilliant thing because you're getting slightly fed up of it. So we're not going to move away from learning other people's tunes at all. Of course we're going to do that, always going to do that. But we talked about how we could get a sense of ownership. Even if you're playing someone else's line or someone else's riff or whatever, how can you make it feel like it's a bit more yours? And then how can that influence how you play your own lines, how you actually hear them? So there's a massive checklist of this stuff. So if I maybe give you 15 points to consider, and I'll apply it to a lick. So we're just going to evolve a lick by adding these 15 points to it and hopefully get more of a sense of ownership. And this will inform how you hear it. So I'll give you 15 key things here and apply it roughly. I've not planned any licks, because that's the point. But today I'll use a Lydian dominant scale, no real reason, I love this over a blues. So the scale, if you're intrigued and you wanted to try some of these points yourself, is 5/7, A Lydian dominant by the way, 5/7, 4/6/7, 4/5/7, 4/6, then the sharp fourth you could go up to maybe 8 there, or on the B string you could play 4/5, 7/8, and then on the high E string 5/7/9. Okay, so 15 key points. Let's fly through these quickly. 1, accents. Let's come up with a line. And I'm swinging it just because I can and it feels good. 1 E under 2 E under 3 4. Now that's, if that was written in tab, it's just a plain straightforward 16th note line, isn't it? The first point, accents. I could maybe accent, so it's still 16th notes, 1, E under 2, E under 3, 4, but I'm going to accent every third note, then every second. What have I put there? That's a rhythm I've written down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one more time. Instantly better than the first thing. Dynamics, point 2. Louder and quieter. Rests, point 3, I kind of just did rests, didn't I? But it's good, that stuff's coming out naturally. Why not? Staccato notes. Slides, I just kind of did that as well. Grace notes, notes before a line. Vibrato. Classical vibrato. circular vibrato, rock vibrato. I'll do a lesson on vibrato at some point. We could go on about that forever. Double stops. Notes more than once. As soon as you start playing notes more than once, you start sounding like a singer. Can't be a bad thing. Excellent. Repeat rhythms and phrases. Once again, that's going to make us sound more like a singer as well. Okay, cool. Change up the note order. I'm not starting with roots all the time. Yeah, okay. Bends and pre-bends. Yeah, hopefully we do all that stuff. Rhythmic subdivisions. So maybe think of quavers, then 16th notes, triplets. Start incorporating those and blending those together, maybe just in isolation. Use your fingers. Okay, so the key point there is that I'm making all that up. I'm sure when I watch this back before I upload it to YouTube, there might be a flubbed note in there somewhere, but it doesn't matter. I've got to simulate that real world practice. How do I hear it? And eventually this stuff will sort of soak into my DNA, and all these phrasing elements, these 15 elements, should come out naturally. If we segue back to the first line, that's kind of like turning notes on and off. You know, we want to get the instrument out of the way almost. We want what's in here to come out of here. The instrument's the barrier, really, because we're all pretty sweet as far as hearing music goes in our head. So yeah, what other key points did I have today? I think that's it, but this kind of is helping to solve Chris's problem. The more important thing here is when you hear that little voice in your head that's going, I'm a bit bummed out with my practice, I'm not getting that emotional reward. Start looking for solutions from yourself, not I'll learn this other lick, or this other person's better than me because they're quicker than me. It's really silly. Listen to the music that's in your head, that's honest. And if all else fails, just think, what would Jeff Beck do? Forget the sentence, the title of this video, how do you hear a line? Just think, what would Jeff Beck do? If you can get 10% Jeff Beck in your playing, you're going to be incredible. So I hope this lesson serves you well. Like it, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you would like Skype tuition, there is a link in the description for my email. As always, I hope this serves you well. Put some comments in there about anything you'd like to see in an upcoming video, and I'll see you next week. Thank you very much.